Welcome to our next bowl game. This bowl is the Military Bowl between Toledo and Air Force.
Toledo comes in this game with an 8-4 record, finishing 4th in the MAC, while Air Force comes in with a 7-5 record, finishing 5th in the Mountain West Conference. Toledo comes in with the 30th ranked passing attack, averaging over 275 yards per game, while Air Force comes in 114th in the nation with under 150 yards passing per game. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, Toledo comes in 16th in the nation in rushing yards with a little under 220 yards per game, while Air Force comes in 2nd in the nation with over 320 yards per game.
That's very impressive for a team like Air Force to have such a potent offense and a great running game.
Toledo will be tested by Air Force's unique triple option offense when the teams meet in the Military Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, triple options are already pretty tricky, and then having the second best running attack in the nation running such a play. I mean, it's going to be tough for this Toledo defense to stop this Air Force running game.
You can see just how tricky this triple option offense is because they are 2nd in the nation in rushing.
Toledo quarterback Austin Danton was sidelined earlier in the season with a concussion, but it looks like he might be available to play this game. So that's a good sign for the Toledo offense because they've been starting Terrence Owens, their backup quarterback, and he has a higher completion percentage and more yards than Danton, but of course Danton was out for some of the season. They both have 15 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Both quarterbacks fared fairly well throughout the season, and who knows who we will see with Toledo, which also might make Air Force struggle having to defend against the possibility of 2 different quarterbacks.
Yes, that will be a little tricky to do.
Air Force comes in with Tim Jefferson Jr., who has under 1,500 yards passing, 12 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. But that's because Air Force does not throw the ball very much.
No, they're more, as you can see by the stats, they're more of a running kind of team. And their running attack is led by Asher Clark, who has about 1,100 yards rushing on the ground and 6 touchdowns. He's averaging about 7.5 yards per game, so he's definitely a potent threat for this Air Force offense.
He's backed up by M. DeWitt, who has under 550 yards in the season, but 10 touchdowns. So it seems like he's the big guy they stick in the goal line situations to really punch in those touchdowns.
Yeah, and Air Force, it says here, has 38 touchdowns by rushing, which is 4th in the nation. I mean, that's very good. The second best running team getting 38 rushing touchdowns. That's great.
Just days after Toledo accepted their bowl invitation, Tim Beckman, their starting coach, left for the starting coaching job with the Illinois Fighting Illini. He will be backed up by interim head coach, who is also the athletic director, Mike O'Brien, who has since taken the intern tag off of his resume.
He might be getting a little ahead of himself because, you know, just because you're a coach for like a couple games doesn't automatically mean you're the head coach for the next season. I think that they'll definitely try to look for a more qualified person than their athletic director to be their starting head coach. And for Tim Beckman, I think that's a pretty smart move because you're going from a team, Toledo, and you're going to a Big Ten team in the Illinois Illini. I think it's a pretty good move. It's a good move for his career.
And now we're taking it to our Latin field reporter, Miguel Suave. This just in, Miguel Suave is no longer available. We will stay in office.
Really? That's interesting. I thought he was here.
This was our Christmas gift for Miguel Suave. You know what he gets for not showing up today?
Delicious.
Tastes even better because not mine.
Oh yeah.
Since the start of November, Toledo is averaging a nation-best 53.5 points per game. Now that is absolutely insane.
That's great. 53 points per game is incredible.
That'll win you every game.
That's crazy, unless you play like a really good team.
Toledo averaged both 220 yards rushing and 270 yards passing, one of 14 FBS schools above 200 in both categories.
Yeah. I think Toledo's points explosion has kind of been contributed to all-conference receiver Eric Page. I mean, yes, he was caught 16 times with 145 yards and a touchdown in their season finale win over Ball State. He's 3rd in the nation with 112 receptions for about 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. So this is this is a good bright spot for the Toledo Rockets.
The one thing that holds Toledo down is they are 109th in the nation defensively out of 120 FBS schools, which is poor.
That's
Very
not
poor.
good, especially against the running attack of Air Force. I mean, it's going to be tough for this Toledo defense to stop this running offense. Toledo has the spread by 3 points, and I think it'll be a little less. I think Air Force's offense is going to really just run over this Toledo defense, but I think in the end that Toledo can win this game. I think the spread should be about 1 or 2, somewhere around there. Well, with Air Force's second-ranked running attack, I think that they will definitely make a game out of this one. I think it'll definitely be close, and Toledo's poor rushing defense, I still think Toledo will win with, Eric Page, and I mean, it's just a great team. I think the final score will be 24-17.
I'm going to have to agree, but it's not going to be nearly as close or as low scoring. I'm going to take Toledo in this one just based off their sheer offensive numbers. Toledo's going to win this game 48-38.
Thank you for watching this episode of our college football bowl game predictions. Join us next time while we cover the Bridgepoint Education Holiday Bowl between Cal and Texas.